trying to beat the sun up. Grinding hard for mine to see a meal before my sun's up. All I'm saying is I'm trying to get my funds up. Gotta stay strapped, case these niggas.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining in for another episode of Run It Back. Y'all know what it is. We highlight the area's greats from yesteryear, and most recently in this last season, well, our current season, we've been showing more attention to the youngers, the younger generation, the ones that's in the present right now, the ones that we need to tune into now, the kids of today. So with this episode, we got kind of like a double dose, I should say. We're going to be talking with someone from back in the day, but kind of like giving back in the coaching realm and showcasing the talents of the kids on her team from today. So without further ado, why don't you guys join me in a warm welcome with Miss Stacy Key from Waterbury, Connecticut, Sacred Heart High School. There we go.
So,
yes.
I'm an alumni. Back in the day, you just took it back for me. I almost felt real old, but I'm 21 plus forever, you know? All right, we're going to keep that as a disclaimer.
I like that.
21 plus. That's it, forever.
Yes.
So, but yes, hello, everyone. Glad to be back in town. I have seen so many faces. It's been like, oh, my God.
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Yes.
So, good moments. So,
actually, I'm glad that, we've been able to kind of like reach out. You reached out a couple weeks ago. We kind of like going back and forth. But it's like, what we don't realize is we live in a small world, more or less. Like a lot of people, that term 6 degrees of separation is really 6 degrees of separation. It's like you make a phone call. Oh, yeah, I know him or I know her. And it's only a couple phone calls away. Then you kind of like know who you're dealing with. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But, I'm glad to have you here. I'm glad that you're back in town. You're out of town. I'm glad you're back in town. And I'm happy for what you're doing. And today, we're just going to, chop it up and take it from there. Okay?
Let's go.
But first off, I'd like to start with, how did sports, in particular basketball, start for you?
In my backyard, then in my front yard, and then when I could go down the street, it was down the street to the next door neighbor's house. I think the biggest piece for me is basketball started with my parents, because they were like, you can't sit in the house all day. Okay? And you just can't play games in the house all day. You got to go do something. And I don't know I came up in the era where you didn't have video games.
You outside.
Go take yourself outside.
You outside.
And then you inside when the lights came on, when the street lights came on. So
inside was a punishment.
point blank and period,
Yes.
So, but that's where it really started. And then I think my dad kind of cultivated it because he just was this big support. And he honestly really still is a big support. Whoop, whoop to Frank Key. So,
Key.
Yeah. He definitely, and my uncle, he would come out, they both would come out and just come and see me play. I don't care if I was the worst player on the team. The support mattered. And it mattered in the sense of their presence, not just, hey, you did a good job today, sweetheart. No,
right.
Daddy in the crowd, he looking, he like, hey, sweetheart, you did good. This is what you got to work on. So that's where it started.
And you know what, too? It's you hit it. Like, Daddy's in the crowd, but he'll tell you, boom, you did good, but this is what you got to work on. As opposed to, I've heard a lot of coaches, AAU coaches, high school coaches, rec league coaches, they struggle with some of the parents yelling at the coaches and not allowing the coaches to coach. My son should be taking more shots or getting more playing time and stuff of the sort. So the fact that you had your dad kind of like watching from a distance, and then after giving you that feedback that you needed, you know what I'm saying? And I think watching from a distance, not a distance like away from the game, but watching and allowing you to play, allowed you to make those mistakes and allowed you to be comfortable playing ball. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times when you got somebody like that's scrutinizing everything you do, some kids, they get in the shell and they don't perform like they would in the backyard or at the park. You know what I mean? So it's good that he was, allowed you to play, and then, all right, after, hey, you did good, but hey, work on this.
Yeah.
That's key.
And I think his passive aggressiveness or his willingness to allow the coach to coach. See, now we're in a culture where we got the fighting era. They're not playing basketball. Right. From the NBA to the NIL to the CIAA to any other league you have, they taken the game of basketball, which I love, and turned it into something that's almost like fight night. And it's like UFC fighting on the court. And the biggest thing that I find is that it's almost glorified.
Yes.
Like, some of our NBA
Because
players.
they go viral. They going viral.
And the craziest part to me is that those aren't even the best players sometimes, or they are the best players, but they're uncoachable. If you hear me tell my team right now, you can't go anywhere if you're uncoachable. And I say to my parents, if we judged your parenting how you judged our coaching, trust me, some of them parents would not make the cut.
That's right.
If my parent even attempts to come and cuss me out, listen, take your child. This is not the right team for you. Have a good night. Because the difference is that the experience that they're going to have on this team compared to any other team, yes, we're going to get fundamentals, but you're going to be able to play ball, and I'm going to set you up for the opportunity to, one, graduate from college. That's what I'm pushing for. And two, if you make it to the NBA, then listen, I'm 100% behind it. But if you don't, you still have a career to actually go on to and mentorship.
Exactly. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of our young boys don't have that.
That's huge. You know what it is too? It's one of those things where it's the NBA is the end all be all. And I tell people too, I said, the NBA is not the only career you can have. You can go get a free education and then you can embark on a career in law enforcement. You can embark on a career in engineering. You can, all these different careers you can embark on from a free education that you don't got to pay that money back. But we all, a lot of the, younger generation. I mean, there was some in our generation too that was
one track, yeah.
NBA.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But the NBA is not the end all be all. That's not the whole. I made it. The made it is you got that free education. You got that piece of paper.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now you can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? You have that piece of paper, and then you have a career that you can embark on past basketball. Because you only have maybe 10, 12 years, not even. I mean, the average NBA player, 4 years? Really?
Yes.
Really? It's like 4 years, so...
I'll give you 5. I'll give you 5, because when you start, you got that little half a year, you can pick it to go again, But,
Right. So to play professional, it's not like I think people base things on the anomalies, the LeBron James, the ones that was great, that had extended years of playing. But that's not the norm.
And they weren't the norm.
And okay,
let's go again. I just said this, and my kids can tell you this, my own biological children. I said, you can't be the greatest and not do the greatest things.
Ooh.
These kids don't want to come to practice.
Oh, man.
I don't know how many times I done said, I don't care if we lose. If you are not in practice, sit down. I don't need you to play. Because now we have parents telling their kids, oh, you don't need to go to practice. So what we have now is a built culture on showtime at the Apollo, and then you get on the court and you can't work together to even give a bounce pass because you don't know what a bounce pass look like because you don't watch somebody else do it totally different.
But the thing is, you can't be the greatest if you're not willing to do the greatest things. And that's that preparation. Yep. The greatest thing is preparation. Whether it's in the classroom. Because we skipping past that. You got to pass. You got to get, a certain GPA. You got to have a grade point average of a certain level. And here's one, when you get to a next level of playing, if you make it that far, you got a playbook. You got to be able to read that.
I don't know how many times I have had the boys, and this is like, this is a coach's epitome of, you want to scream? Okay,
Yes.
Okay, all right, I didn't scream. Those boys don't even know how to read, let alone read a play.
Oh, man.
Book. Okay, let's go classroom. You can't even sit in the classroom for an hour, let alone in a game you're like ADD on the basketball court.
Oh, man.
And the coach talking to you.
You all over the place.
Everywhere.
Okay.
I'm here. And what it is that these kids have now developed the ADD of basketball. We get on the court, we doing all these fancy moves, and you might have made it. You might have just made the shot. But let's not go and sidetrack it. You're not winning the game. You're only doing but the bare minimum. And like you said, there's nothing after it. Right. So now I see those same great players right there doing whatever else, but just not doing what they're meant to do, which is actually have a career. We're not setting these kids up for anything. We're setting them up for failure.
That's true. We can go on that, forever. You know what I'm saying? I want to come back to that though.
All right.
But I want to start too is, how did you end up at Sacred Heart. What was life before Sacred Heart and into Sacred Heart?
Ooh, life before Sacred Heart. My parents just believed in the education, and they actually believed that this is what it's going to take for us to get her where she has to go. So my parents really set me up for success.
Got you.
So some of my kids, to go along that line, I sponsor them, or I have other people sponsor them to put them into private schools so that they have an opportunity to be in an environment to not only play, but to also learn.
Got you.
For me, my parents set me up for success. In turn, I set my children up for success. It's generational. It's a generational thing.
There you go.
See, if you can't give what you don't know sometimes. And a lot of the people that encounter me, they don't know. Now, this is my job as coach, because you don't just coach on the court. You don't just coach on the field. You coach off the court and off the field.
Coaching life. Coaching life.
A lot of these kids will never see this opportunity. That's why I took the opportunity to fly all of my whole entire team up here on a plane. Some of them will never, ever have this opportunity again. But this is the one time I'm going to tell you, this is what it's meant for.
This was meant for.
Coaching, this is what it is. So school, me, grade school, started St. Lucy's. Again, the Pal is now my gym.
Okay.
We had the biggest gym. St.
Yep.
Lucy's
Yep.
elementary school, parochial school had the biggest gym.
Got you.
And I was proud to walk in that gym because it was my gym, you know? Pal don't own it still. Sorry, Nick. It's my gym.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then like I said, my parents invested in it. They invested in the education. Sacred Heart. So I got there, and it was like, again, I didn't have that option. You had to do something.
Okay.
So whether it be cheerleading, soccer, football, nobody had to make me do it. But me and my cousin Tanika Key, she played too. So we both played together at that time. And it was crazy because, like I said, my uncle and my dad, they be like, whoa, they got a game. They alternating, one bringing, one dropping off, one picking up, one dropping off.
Right.
So my career really of basketball was just like a love for it.
Got you. Had the love for it.
The love for it is what take it to the level of where I'm at now.
Did you go into Sacred Heart with any expectations?
No.
Okay.
And the reason why I didn't go with any expectations was because I just wanted to play.
Okay.
I didn't know there was no WNBA at that point. It was fresh. It wasn't like big.
Yeah.
But I didn't even look at that. Like Allen Iverson is my favorite person. Like, yes, I like basketball. But when I started to play, now I just develop. I'm competitive. So it could be chess and we gonna be competitive. I don't even know how to play chess, but I'm gonna be competing with you in chess
gonna be
because
competing.
that's
Right.
just me.
Yes.
Now you put me on the court and it's something I can do well, then okay, let's go. And you know what I mean? I might not have even did it well, but
Yeah.
I applied myself enough to score, to do what I was supposed to do. Sacred Heart wasn't my expectation, but it became an expectation because some opportunities were put before me that I said, okay, you know what? Let's arise to the occasion.
Right.
And I did it.
Right.
Then I played on college level. And I amazed myself because I didn't even think that I would have got to college level.
Exactly.
Because I wasn't as dedicated as some of those that are the greatest are.
Yeah. Right. Right. What would you say was some of your highlights at Sacred Heart?
Man, I think when I scored about 7 to 8 points in a game, because it was me, Jessica Capone, and it was just like I said, shout out to Jessica. But you know, we're all still friends. Jennifer Torres, Jennifer Stango. As a matter of fact, one coach is for Kaner Tech High School. So we all are still friends, and even we get together sometimes in the summer. We have kids ourselves. Our kids get out there and play with us still to this day.
Wow.
So my highlights was looking back when Sacred Heart was still open to see my name hitting the 1,000-point mark. And it was like, whoa, did I really hit 1,000 points? I didn't know. And I was so amazed by myself. I said, man, I did pretty good.
You did pretty good.
For myself, you know. But like I said, again, it wasn't the biggest thing because it wasn't my biggest focus, but I love the game, so let's keep going.
Right. So now, did you face any adversity early on that made you kind of, you know, slow things down and really start honing in on the game, or, you know, teachable moments in the game that probably humbled you and you had to kind of like rebound from?
I'll say them big losses, like when we lost by 30, 40 points.
Ooh.
And I don't like to lose. Like I said, I have good sportsmanship, but I want to just be clear. I am not a good loser. I don't do well losing at anything.
Yeah.
So you're going on ahead and put me in a predicament. Now I have to I have to control myself, one. And two, it made me rethink if I really want to play anymore, because I said, if we keep losing like this, you know, I don't know if I want to get back on the court. But I had a good coach, Judge Sheridan Moore, and she said, look, you either get on the court and you play your hardest and you not be upset because you put your best foot forward, or she said you get off the court and sit down.
Got you.
Put your uniform up.
Wow.
Don't come back.
Wow.
And to this day, that's what stuck with me because I said, you know what? You can walk away from anything.
Yes.
But integrity and your stickability and your commitment, you committed to this, then you stick with it till you can't stick with it no more.
Absolutely. Definitely. And that's a lesson that you can take wherever, like from high school, college, professional working career, you could take that and, you know, that's a universal statement right there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You can grow on that in every facet of your life.
Right.
From that right there.
Right.
You know? So I mean, you played at Sacred Heart at a time where like other schools had some prominent, you know, female ballers. I mean, I think Holy Cross, Mary Rush at the time.
Mary Rush, still good friend.
Oh man, she was a problem. But you got to face, you know, talents like, you know, her. You know.
But we be outside and it's a battle, but it's nothing but love still.
Yeah.
Like I knew Mary might have got me, but I'm gonna work hard that you're not gonna get me as best as you think. Like, look, you might have won.
Yeah.
But you didn't win the war. You might have won the battle.
You won the battle,
but you ain't win the war.
Okay.
So, you know, and she had a baby, we laughed. She was like, all right, I'm grooming my kid. We coming up.
Yeah.
Who's next? Well, you know. So we start laughing and things like that. But those moments are like,
yes.
Like teachable moments, but it also makes you reevaluate yourself as a player.
For sure.
And I think, like I said, like even compared to other schools that we played with, because Sacred Heart was like, you know, known for their boys basketball team, it was like, okay, the girls weren't too far behind, but we were far behind compared to the boys.
Yeah,
they had elite players at that time. And I'm going to say they had elite. Mike Stallings and them, they were elite players.
Oh, man. That was the start of the dynasty.
We love it. I love it.
That was the dynasty right there. That's Sacred Heart, man.
So like I said, but the girls wanted to follow. But like I said, we didn't have that same dedication those boys had.
Okay.
And that's where I think we fell short because we were just girls playing basketball. No, those were the boys, and they was playing ball. Like, it's a different ball game at that point.
For sure.
So I think, like I said, when I took it serious is when I got to a point where I was like, all right, make a decision. Again, I always played because I wanted to play, and I like competing, but I didn't think it was going to be my forever career.
Okay.
Probably maybe if I would have took it a little more serious, then maybe I would have went a little further.
Okay.
But I just played to get scholarship money. I had a goal in mind. Like, let's go. Masters, and I'm a doctoral candidate now. Like, my goal was not to go play WNBA. It might have been at one point, you know, my son's father, he'd be like, oh, man, let's go. We go on the ball.
Yeah.
You know, it was like whole love and basketball story. But it wasn't my story in the end because I knew if I didn't make it in basketball,
you had something to fall back on.
Oh, we're going to have money. Pick your poison. We're going to have some money somewhere, but it's not going to be because of lack of trying.
Got you. Now, that's key right there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I like that. So, I mean, you finish up at Sacred Heart.
Yes.
How did you said you went to UNH.
So I got to UNH after.
UNH?
No, I went to UConn first.
UConn first.
Okay. And I went to be a walk-on. But instead, I was a walk-on. I was amazed at myself that I made it on there, right?
Oh, man. UConn
Stores, Connecticut.
Okay.
But then I didn't make the cut. I started hanging with the wrong people. Mm-hmm. I didn't make the grades. And then this is what I try to deter people from is that I started dealing with the dude on campus, and he was selling steroids on campus.
Oh, man.
And then I almost ended up catching a charge. And he said, no, she didn't know nothing about it. So they ended up taking the partial scholarship away. My academics was horrible. And now here I am sitting here, schoolless, scholarshipless, and now you got to figure out what you're going to do. And everything that I had worked for had went down the drain. And now it's like, how do you regroup?
Wow.
Most people don't get it because it's a story you don't want to keep retelling. But it's got to help somebody because, look, you are what you bad company corrupts good character.
Exactly.
That's in a nutshell.
Bad company corrupts good character.
That's how I got to UNH.
Wow.
So now when I get to UNH, I figured that I would directly be able to put myself in a predicament where I now can better myself, not only on the court, but better myself in academics. And I was able to restore myself. I played basketball, but again, it wasn't my first priority anymore.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But you know what? They say, you know, a lot of things, or pretty much all things, happen for a reason.
Absolutely.
Maybe you needed that step, maybe that humbling experience.
Maybe.
To say, you know what? And now you go to UNH and you're better served with, you know, the academics.
Yes.
You get to play.
Yes.
You know, but you going in with a different mindset.
Now it's a different mindset because I'm like, I done been stripped of everything.
Got you.
Yeah, that's a rude awakening. That'll wake up anybody. I mean, trust me, you looking at your whole life, you like, what do I do now?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, how did you, overall, how did you fare at UNH? Like, how was the experience, the
Playing
camaraderie?
basketball? Oh, I love it. I think my coaches, like I said, each year I was blessed with some great coaches.
Okay.
But again, my love for the game is why I stayed. The coaches just helped me to stay in line, and it helped me to do what I needed to do because it was giving me that scholarship money. So I'm going to play.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's where I was at. But I did fairly well, maybe about 8 points a game. Nah, not even, probably about 5 or 6.
Okay.
And I started my last 2 years, my junior and my senior year.
Okay.
But I directly, like I said, didn't stick with it because after a while, I just was like, I'm getting ready to graduate. My grades were top notch. And now, like I said, I'm going into criminal justice. I was a double major. So like now basketball is the back burner for me. So it's like, this is just a hobby. Basketball was a hobby after that, you know? And then I got to my master's level and I was like,
Okay.
time to put into my kids at that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. So here's the thing. You come from Waterbury.
Yes.
How you end up in the South?
Fort Liberty.
Fort Liberty.
Military base. So,
Got you.
yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, and again, sometimes we make those life decisions and it's like, this is what it is. So, okay, family was a part of what my vision was. So I got down there and then I seen all these kids and I'm like, wow, it's so many kids and what can I do with this? And my kids it was during COVID, where COVID allowed me to revamp my whole entire life without really revamping my whole entire life.
Got you.
Everybody was revamping. Everybody had
Right. So
COVID.
you kind of was revamping, like going along with the time and with everybody else. Got you.
Yes, I had no choice.
Yep.
And so once I took that government job, and then I said, all right, you know what? Like this is a good move for me. And then the basketball came along. I started playing on base. And then they were like, wait a minute. You look young. And then when they find out we all in the same age bracket,
man.
they cracked up. They was like, nah.
Wow.
And, so then, like I said, and my kids wanted to play, and they go to a private school that doesn't have a team.
Okay.
So I said, all right, I don't like rec league. There's no offense to a rec league, but it doesn't give you the sound basis sometimes of what kids need.
True.
So my team is a collaboration of all independent and private schools that don't have teams.
Oh.
So,
okay.
Yes.
So that's what Liberty, the Crusaders.
Yes, Covenant Crusaders.
Yeah.
So it's a collaboration of those independent schools, private schools that don't have a team or don't have a league, and we do more than one sport. So it's basketball, we have football, and then we have cheerleading for the girls.
Got you. Wow. Oh man, I never heard of it being like that.
I know. That's why it's me, Coach M.
I like that. I seen some of the clips. And you're coaching, so you're pretty much coaching in the male-dominant arena, like coaching boys.
Say it again.
How do you deal with the adversity of that? Or are you faced with a lot of adversities, just being a woman, doing it?
Yes. And I think that's the hard portion of this thing.
Okay.
I don't look like what I like. Basketball is what I love. Those boys probably get tired of me talking. But that suicide line, they will hit that line. They will run laps. Oh, okay, you didn't want to listen in the game? Sit down on the bench. And I had to make it very clear, and I still have to. It's not like they just listen one good time.
No, you got to keep drilling it.
Oh, yeah, but after a while, though, I said, as a coach, you have to see the court well-rounded.
Okay.
But like I said, as me being a woman, absolutely. I had men tell me, you won't do too well with that team because they need a man coaching. And I say, yeah. I said, that's interesting because they just won the game. What happened? Yes. The obstacles that my team faces is because we're taking a whole bunch of people and putting them into this one cohesive unit.
Yes.
Versus like Seymour, where they always had the greatest football team because they played together, they practiced together, they came from one city. Watertown, they came from one city. Yeah. Okay, well, me now, I'm taking all of those cities and I'm combining to make one team. That's the hardest thing possible.
Hard because you got, young egos over here. You got an ego over here. Now you putting them all together where they probably would have been the lone star over there. But now you're asking some of them to probably sacrifice their game for the greater good of the team. How do you get that in these young kids?
I'm gonna need them to look at this interview. I want you to say that again. Oh my gosh,
man.
you're saying exactly what I say. You are only as great as the people you play with.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The team wins a championship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't win a game. The team.
The team wins the game.
And I think, like I said, just being female, sometimes I even have doubted myself probably because I'm like, I'm in a circuit of male dominancy. Like,
yes,
it is male dominant. And sometimes you have to kind of like figure out, I don't want to look butch. I'm never going to look butch. On the sidelines, I probably have heels on. I will always have heels on. My sorority sister, Brianna O'Connor, like, shout out to Zeta. But, you know, they automatically assume we have to look like men. No, I'm going to look like a female and I still can play ball probably better than you.
Yes. Yeah.
And I know the fundamentals and I understand the game to the fullest.
Exactly.
And that's what I had to keep proving though. See, guys can get away with it and they don't have to prove themselves. I have to continually prove myself over and over and over again to the point of no return. So even if we win, next week I still got to go prove it again.
It's Groundhog's Day. Every
Yes.
every game is Groundhog's Day. I got to prove again.
Yes.
As if last week didn't matter.
It didn't. They forgot about last week. It was irrelevant. It was irrelevant and just done. I said, oh, okay, well, great.
Because, I mean, here's the thing, too. I mean, how do you capture the attention of young males, especially young males that probably going through puberty, they're growing, and you figure even in households, you know, where you got the mother, father, the father's the voice to sit down, like, you know what I mean? Most kids listen to just the base of that. And now, you know, you're a lady coaching these young men. How do you get them to kind of, you know, stay in line? You know what I mean? That can be a challenge itself, as opposed to in addition to coaching against other men that probably have impeccable resumes, but how's this young lady beating me?
Listen, they got some strong legs, okay? Okay? They're going to run till their legs fall off.
Got you.
But also, the program is by word of mouth.
Okay.
I have yet to go put a recruitment out. 47 kids have came through that program, and some have stayed and brought others, because you're not just getting basketball. I want an experience, because when you walk away from this, you have to live still. So I'm not just setting them up for basketball. I told some of them, one of them is here now, I told him, I said, when you make it, I better get a shout out. Coach him, got on my last nerve.
Yes.
And she said, run. You understand what I'm saying? Because now that makes me the coach of who I want to be. I want to be that voice in your head. When you get ready to go do something crazy, Coach him gonna get me.
Yes.
Coach M gonna get me, and I'm not gonna be able to like even walk tomorrow because she gonna make me run till I drop.
Wow.
If you don't put it into their head that you're there for them, those kids understand that you're not there for them. Exactly. I don't get no personal gain off of this. This is not a personal gain. I am who I am, and I'm okay with who I am.
Exactly.
I'm not going to the WNBA. But if you make it somewhere and you graduate from college, Coach M did her job as coach.
Exactly.
That's all all I'm telling them. I want to come see y'all play. I said, my kids getting old. They rusty dusties. They old now. I want to see y'all play so we can come see some games. We want to see y'all play. We want to see y'all play on the college level. I want to see some games. And that's how I put it out there.
Yes.
But those kids, again, my good players, they always follow the negative people that are going nowhere. So maybe you can shed a little light on that one for me, because my players that are my top-notch players always gravitate with the people. But those players hate on them, and that's why they try to link themselves. You know you're destined for greatness when people that have nothing going on for themselves keep trying to gravitate and hold on to you. You're their meal ticket.
Exactly. And they know it. The ones on the outside know it. You know, you know, the kids, when you're striving and you're doing those great things to become great, the outsiders know, because you're doing the things that, number one, they can't do or not willing to do. Absolutely. Or here's one, don't have the drive to do. They see you have the drive.
Yes.
And then in your game, that drive starts to show up. Game in, game out. That drive showing up. Now you get more and more exposure. What do you think they're going to do? They're not going to run. They're going to latch on. Because and a lot of times, not to cut you off, but a lot of times they try to pull you back over this way. Hey, they got this party over here when knowing you need to be resting or going to train. You see what I'm saying? So, like you said, you know, to be great, you got to do the great things. The great things is not to follow the pack all the time. You got to stay focused and true to your craft, whatever that may be. Now, if it's basketball, football, soccer, or even if you want to be a scientist or a lawyer, you still got to study your craft, no matter what it is. There's so much temptation out there to get you from that.
Yes.
Especially the kids that we're dealing with today, like with the social media, the phones, the tablets, everything that's designed to pull their attention away from them being great.
Yes.
And I think, you know, I'm glad I'm glad you're up here, and I'm glad you brought the cast with you because, you know, we want these kids to be great. We want to let these kids know that you can be great. It's not just a phrase, a catchphrase that we use out in the street or in a commercial or something like that. But you guys, you have people that's rooting for you. You have people that's putting into you.
Yes.
And all I say is just you know, take some of that in.
Yeah.
You know, we understand as adults. We understand you're not going to retain all of it, but try to retain some of it, because that some of it is going to save you down the long haul from them people that's trying to pull you away. You know what I'm saying? When your eyes open, it's like, wait, hold on, wait a minute, that's messing up my craft, or that's taking me away from X, Y, and Z. That's, I always tell people, you know, when you go away to college, the same people that you leave, if they ain't doing nothing, when you come back to visit, guess what? They're going to still be chilling. They ain't doing nothing.
Absolutely.
So you ain't miss anything. You ain't miss anything. Go out and continue to be great. Come back and say hello, your goodbyes and everything, but you're not missing anything.
Correct.
They'll fill you in on whatever you thought you missed. They'll fill you in. You're going to go back. They're going to be at the same spot.
Absolutely.
You know, so don't stop being great. You know what I'm saying? Don't stop on your destiny of striving to be great. And for you, don't stop pouring into these kids.
I appreciate that.
These kids need it, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of you coaching these males need it, you know what I'm saying? Because for a lot of them, you're not just a coach, you might be a mother figure to some of them. You know what I'm saying? Where not just yours, but the other players too. And you're teaching them respect. Respect your mother. Respect me as a woman. You know what I'm saying? That goes well past coaching, well past sports. That goes to when they become grown and engage in relationships. Now, you know, I respect you like my coach, like my mom, and you know what I mean. You see how it continues to grow, that respect level.
Yes.
And what you're instilling in them to be great. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna be great on the relationship level. You're gonna be great on the athletic level, and the wisdom level. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Smart, because even with athletics, you still got to, you know, you got to do your research. You got to study. Yes. Film study. You know what I'm saying? Yes. You have to read up on people. You know, what works, what don't work. Correct. Whatever realm or path that it takes you, you have to study. You got to do your due diligence to research those that came before you, and even those that's in the same area that you're in now. Right.
And I think that's the thing too, is that I can't do it by myself. Right. I have a pretty good squad, and I won't say pretty good. I have a very good squad that just works with me. But I have mentors. So, like, before they were coming up here, they learned how to tie ties. Ooh. Now, I could have taught them how to tie a tie because as a female, I go on YouTube and we YouTube it. Yeah. I said to him, no, to my mentors, I said, no, I want you to come in and I want it to be hand over hand. Yes. How do you tie a tie? They needed a man, and they needed to see somebody that looks like them. Yes. And he did a phenomenal job because they learned how to tie ties. And even if some knew how to, they were excited to tell that they knew how to tie ties. I was like, really? You know? Wow. And so those moments are unforgettable moments because they're life moments, life-changing moments. And the mentors play a key role. Because I am a female, my mentors play a key role. They're ex-military and like, you know, one's a Marine, and he's funny because he used to say, "You owe me." Like, them boys knew as soon as he said, "You owe me," they was dropping down and doing 50. I said, "Boy, you gonna kill them boys." He said, "Oh no, they'll live." He said, "Because they owe me." You know, you throw a crazy 3-point shot. He in the crowd, he said, "You owe me." They like on the sideline, 50 push-ups. Nice. Yes. Nice. So it takes a village, and I'm a firm believer that the village is what we're missing in our culture today. See, we came up with the village. Because if you was cutting up outside,
somebody gonna call home. Somebody gonna check you first. Somebody outside, a parent over here, gonna see it. They're gonna check you. Then they're gonna call home. Yes. To let home know what you're doing out here. And when you get home, you're gonna get it again.
Scary. It used to be scary. It was scary. But you wasn't gonna cut up like that.
And you ain't get away with it. You ain't getting away with it.
And nobody gave you a video game after you done cut up.
No.
That's good flashbacks. I don't know about you.
Yes,
I learned how to behave
yes,
at some
it
point.
is.
You know.
Well, Stace, man, thank you for tuning in and barking, and you done spit some gems just on the knowledge level of basketball and life after. You know what I'm saying? I thank you for that, and it's always a pleasure to, especially get somebody to come back home.
Yeah, home is home.
And bless the seat with us of running back. Without further ado, man, I thank you and I appreciate everything that you're doing. Shout out to Fort Liberty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fort Liberty, Faye.
It used to be Fayetteville. It's Fayetteville.
Fayetteville. Okay.
Yes.
So shout out to them. Hey, this is part 1 of our running back doubleheader. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, thanks for joining in for another episode of Run It Back. I'm Eric Lewan, and like I told you guys, we had a doubleheader for you today. First, if you guys were tuned in, we had Miss Stacy Key that gave some gems about the basketball, her experience in Waterbury, and how she went and took her talents to North Carolina, but a couple stops along the way. So today we are blessed with we have the Fort Liberty Independent team out of North Carolina. It's a faith-based basketball team. It's a mixture of middle school and high school players, independent as well. So without further ado, guys, y'all got to listen up. Like I told you, this is our high school, our youth segment, I should say. So without further ado, we are joined with Mr. Isaiah McLean, Derek Pitts, and Mr. Marquise McNeil. How you doing, my brothers?
I'm doing good.
All right. How y'all doing today, though? What's in store for you? I mean, I know you guys had a kind of like a busy week. What's in store for today or the rest of the weekend?
I think we pretty much have 3 games today, and then we're going to kind of have a little pool party, something like that.
Jumbo party, yeah.
Okay.
A jumbo party? Yeah, even though I thought we was having a pool party.
Okay. Y'all got 3 games today, or y'all had 3 games?
Nah, we have one like tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all got 3 games coming.
Yeah, 3 games coming.
Man. That's a busy schedule, y'all. Just 3 games right now, and it's already after 2 o'clock. Y'all got 3 games to come. That's great. That's great. But, let's just start off with this. How you guys get started at Fort Liberty?
How we get started? Kind of, I sat here. I started off playing the center. I had some of my other friends play. Okay. Some came to play the power forward. Some came to play small forward. Some came to play shooting guard and point guard.
Okay.
Came together. Mitchell had as well started as our starting point guard, and he's been with us for about 2 years now. I've been there for 2 years, and I think everybody else has left, but you got better players now. Gotcha. One right here and another one right here.
Gotcha. How's everything looking for you?
Good.
You the feature guy. So how's it looking for you so far though? How do you see it?
What, like a team?
Yeah. Being part of the team.
Being part of the team, it's pretty good. Ain't really nothing for real, but just proud of some of my teammates for real and doing good at things. Like, what position you play again?
Center. I play, point guard, small forward, but since the team's a little smaller, I stick to center.
Okay.
I play shooting guard.
Shooting guard. Point guard. Okay.
Or small forward.
Small forward. Okay. So let's back up a little bit. Now, as I said, this is an independent basketball team, y'all. So it's comprised of middle school and high school. So Isaiah, what grade you in?
I'm in 8th.
Isaiah's in 8th. Derek, what grade you in?
I'm in 11th.
11th. Marquise?
10.
So this is a mixture right here of what we're the guys that's right here of middle school and high school on this team. So I mean that's crazy, like, you know what I mean? Because for me, I'm like, is this the AAU team? No, it's the independent league. This is the independent team, which is awesome, and it's faith-based. So that's great. You got to keep the God in it, the word in it. You know what I mean? That's great. Are you guys comfortable with everybody on your team? Like, do you guys feel like you're building great camaraderie with your teammates?
Yeah, I feel so. I feel we getting closer as a team, as well as on the strip we came closer than we
Okay.
were before then.
Okay, nice. What would you rate, how would you rate your level of competition?
I haven't seen our competition yet, but from this year,
Yeah, this year, just this year.
this year,
Yeah.
I give them a 7 out of 10.
7 out
I
of
feel
10?
like we could have done better,
Okay.
and we could have beat lots of the teams that we lost to. But
Yeah. There's growing pains too.
yeah.
You know. Wow. So Isaiah. We got like a little running joke. I told him I was gonna get him the whole time. But how would how's everything going for you? How do you feel like you fit in with the team?
I feel good, I feel like I could be myself. I could compete my dreams,
Okay.
have a good scholarship. I feel
Nice.
good about that.
You feel good about that. And that's great too, you know what I mean, to be able to follow your dreams and get a scholarship and, having fun too, right? What would you say your strong suit? Like, what's your strongest aspect of the game? Ball handling, shooting, distributing, what would you say?
I would probably say ball handling.
Ball handling?
I've been doing that. I wanted always to have good ball handling since I was little.
Okay.
And shooting, I'm okay with that. I'm
Mhm.
not very a good shooter, but after all, I'm very good with ball handling.
Very good ball handling. Okay, awesome. Derek, what would you say? Now, you're making a normally you would be a point guard, small forward.
Yes.
But you're sacrificing that to be the center. Is
The
that a
same.
huge transition for you?
No, because to be honest, I already know how to play center because I've been playing center for some teams now, but I'm more of a point guard, small forward.
Okay.
See, I'm good at ball handling and finishing. I can also shoot as well, but
Mm-hmm.
I got stuck at the center, so now I'm more of rebounding instead. I can still grab boards though.
Okay.
I can do a little bit of everything.
Okay. Now, is there moments when you grab that rebound, you go coast to coast with it?
Yes.
Okay.
I have done it a good couple times.
Okay.
I have a good couple putbacks.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get that alley though.
Trying to get the alley?
Trying to get the
You
alley.
got to feed him the alley.
They gotta feed me. They gotta feed me the alley. That's what I'm looking
Yeah,
for.
you got to feed him the alley. Feed the big man.
I get up there.
Marquise,
I mean,
what's your strong suit?
shooting
Shooting?
and ball handling. Yeah.
Oh, you got some dribbles too?
Yes. Rod Dillingham. Next one.
Okay. All right. Nice.
But
Go ahead.
my first game I played with the Covenant Crusaders, I dropped 20 points with just shooting.
Just shooting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You got that deep from three?
If I'm gonna be honest, no, not really. But just 3-point line, yeah, I'll make it.
Okay. All right. Now, who has out of the three, or even somebody on your team? Do you guys focus on that mid range shot?
Mitch.
Mitch should
Mitch?
probably focus on it more than anybody.
Yeah.
I'll be second most. I take the second most by the
Mid-range?
mid-range, yeah. But Mitch takes the most out of everybody.
Okay. What people don't realize a lot of times, especially in the open court, that mid range shot is one of those shots that's almost always open. You know what I'm saying? Because most players step out to the three. Naturally, we're going to jack the three or bailing down in the paint. But that mid range is almost always open. Like when you running off screens and running to the baseline, running baseline to baseline, most people get behind that 3-point, get behind that arc. But you curl up to that elbow inside that three, those mid-range shots is almost always on every level too. You know that. So if you can, that's just, if you can perfect that mid-range. I know now they go into the analytics of, wanting people to jack a lot of threes and everything. But if you can perfect that mid-range, man, because when you break somebody down, you might not be able to go all the way to the donut. You got these mountains in front of you. You might have to pull up that mid-range shot. Perfect that. You'd be money, You guys got a game today. Well, no, you got 3 games today.
It's
Yes.
actually 2, but
Do y'all know who y'all playing?
No, we don't know yet.
Team from Connecticut, obviously.
yeah,
Teams from Connecticut, yeah, but I just don't know the teams yet.
it's like AU teams.
Okay, AAU teams. Okay, now how confident do y'all feel about going into this game or going into these games?
To be honest with me, I'm not worried about that. See, I'm a self-confident player, so I ain't really worried about nothing like other players how they play and stuff. I
Okay.
just play myself.
Okay. And you're confident in your skills to get it done. Yeah, you can say that. I'm confident in my skills to get it done. Nice. How about yourself?
I feel very confident. I feel like we're going to get this win today.
Exactly. Get that win. Put that work and get them boards. Yeah. You can say that. You know?
I mean, I probably grab most of the boards anyway.
Okay.
I'm probably the one that hustles the most out of everybody on the whole team.
Yeah.
I hustle the most.
Now, do you have any dunkers on the team? Or you
That'd be
going
me.
upstairs?
I go up there. I get up there. I definitely get up there.
Okay. Nice. You just need somebody to feed you the alley.
I could dunk about myself without the alley.
That's what I'm saying. You gonna catch a dunk tonight?
I'm gonna catch a dunk tonight.
All right. Shoot. Now, where y'all playing at?
I think you're playing over there by UConn.
Over there by UConn, the North End Rack, maybe? The
Oh.
PAL?
Oh, the PAL.
The PAL, okay. Yep.
The PAL.
Yep, that's not too far from here. Okay, so now those that's tuning in, these boys going to be balling at the PAL. They're going to be showcasing their skills. You got to come check them out. They're going to put that work in. What you bringing to the table tonight?
I think I could make a couple shots, a couple
Okay.
threes. You know,
Yeah,
I feel really confident about this.
feel confident, right? Now, let me ask you this. Now, would you be playing in the same game as these two brothers right here? So you'd be on the game before them, and then they're, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But you practice with them, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Now, who's the fastest on the team?
That'll be me right here.
You got some jets?
I got some jets.
Okay. Nice. And you the shooter. You the ball handler.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad that you guys are, doing your thing. I'm glad you guys are up here. And you got a chance to showcase your talent. Any fears going into the game?
Nah, I ain't got no fears. I
No
ain't got
fears?
nothing. Nah.
Nah, that's what I want to hear. No fears. That means you're confident. You're confident in your ability to get the job done. You're confident in your ability on your skills, which is key. You're gonna need confidence at every level of basketball, every level of sports, every level of life. You're gonna need that confidence. So keep that confidence. Win, lose, or draw, keep the confidence. You know what I mean? Like you said some games that y'all played earlier in the season, you could have won, right?
Yes.
But some things you could have done different. You know what I mean? That now you can work on. How do you guys feel about the next season? How confident you guys feel about your squad returning for next season?
I feel like everybody's going to work hard like they did last summer. I feel like we're going to get the W's this time.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do something big, Might go international.
Okay.
That's what we're hoping for.
That's what you're hoping for.
That's what we're going to do.
Nice. So before we sign out, what message would you like to send to the people back home and the people here that as you get prepared to play in this game tonight? Games tonight.
Just follow your dreams and do what you love.
Follow your dreams, do what you love.
Always have confidence.
Always have confidence.
To never back down.
Never give up.
Never back down and doing what you're doing. Excellent. Hey, y'all heard that, guys. Y'all heard it. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for tuning in. And listen, tune in tonight at the PAL. Do you know what time the game start? Ooh, that's me. The game start at, I want to say, around 5:30
Yes.
at the PAL. So tune in to these guys as they're going to be putting in some work in the YouTube channel. The Covenant Crusaders Faye YouTube channel. I got it right?
You got it right.
Yes. Covenant
Right.
Crusaders Fade. That's the YouTube channel. You can check out their games. They got a few games up here that you can see their skills. And one thing I will say as I'm watching some of the games, I like how y'all play off each other very well. Like I see, loose ball, y'all throwing it up. You know what I'm saying? As someone's crashing to the boards, y'all do the little dip through. So those are things that it look like it's coming natural. You know what I mean? That you guys got a natural type of cohesiveness that you got with each other. So that's great. You just got to build on that. Yeah. But anything else y'all want to add?
Nah, I ain't got really
So,
nothing else. You got something? Go ahead.
To always have God on your side.
Ooh, we need that. And that's with everything. Always have God on your side. If you ain't hear my man Isaiah, always have God on your side, man. I love that. Hey, guys, thanks for tuning in. Just another epic episode of Run It Back. You know what I'm saying? It's never short of amazing. You know, we get some history lessons, but today we getting the journeys of men as they're growing now. So continue to support our kids of today. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be great men of tomorrow. All right? Hey, I'm Eric Luan signing off. It's another great episode of Run It Back. See y'all later.